I'm John Beaudin. It seems like every conversation I've had in the last little while, the name Alex Lifeson seems to come up. It did in this one too.
I don't know if you know this, but do you know that I've worked with Alex Lifeson a bit? Okay, real quickly. So I've got another thing for you to go chase down. When Robbie Krieger, at his golf event, we were out playing golf and said, Alex is coming to play in this year's event. And go, awesome. And Seraphin was actually the one that said, you know, he's probably going to want you to play with him or sing with him. And I said, absolutely. And Danny kind of goes, be careful what you ask for, man. That stuff's not easy. You're right. And I said, again, I'm going, okay. Sure enough, Alex comes to town and Robbie says, will you play some? And Alex says, I really don't want to because people butcher our stuff. It's not like something you can come and sit in on. And Robbie said, if Jason does it with you, you'll be in good hands. So Alex says, okay. So I pick him up and Buddy. I mean, I appreciated Rush, but I was not a freak Rush fan, right? And I love what Geddy has done, but I did not study that stuff. And it's kind of, at times, it almost seems not really making a lot of sense where they're going with, you know, and I love odd time stuff, but it's a different thing, right? I studied and woodshedded that stuff more than I've done since I was a kid. Just going, I just want to make sure I'm honoring it. I pick Alex up and we're driving down to rehearsal and everything's cool. You know, he knows who I am, what I've done, everything's fine. Man, we got into rehearsal and started like I did Free Will, Spirit of Radio, and Limelight. And we started the first tune, man, and to see Alex's smile on his face was so cool. We got to the event, and it's virtually impossible to really be so prepared, even with woodshedding stuff, because it's so different. And I was reading the lyrics because I just couldn't remember them, but it's on YouTube. If you search Alex Lifeson, Jason Scheff, go look at what we did, because it was so, I got to be Geddy. I was playing bass and singing. So again, I've been in Rush, The Doors, Chicago, right? Doobie Brothers, and but I love Alex. In fact, I'm working on new material of my own, and I'm about ready to call him. He played on my one track on my solo record, Here I Am, in 2019. But I'm going to call him and see if I can get him to play on some stuff. I love him.
Time to Let Go, Real Rocker, Get Out of the Way, I'm Coming Through, Baby. Those songs got to be fun to play.
That was a tune that, you know, we just had no rules about this record, and Yankton brought this idea in. And we, you know, it's funny. That thing just happened before anybody had a chance to worry about what are we doing, and it just sort of. We grabbed a Rickenbacker bass off the wall. I put a pick in my hand. Dean is just the most insane double kick. I'm telling you, that's a performance. There's no like piecing things together or fixing it, and we just fired away. And the funny thing for me is, like, I love when people hear things and they go, wait a minute, that's that sweet little voice on You Come to My Senses, or If She Would Have Been Faithful. But just because I started as a bass player. I didn't want to sing. My mother was just hammering, you got to sing. I said, I don't want to sing because I'm a tenor. I never sounded cool because I wasn't a deep voice. And so anytime I'd try and sing down, we're like, it's a little bit funny, this feeling inside, right? There was never a lot of support.
But she got you into lessons with a heavy hitter, right?
Okay. She tricked me. Here's the story of a lovely lady who was bringing up three. Okay. She hammered on me to sing. I joined her band at 14 years old, joined the Musicians Union, and it was natural. I could play bass till the cows came home. and she'd always hammer me to sing, and I'd sing the one song or two in the set, and always felt uncomfortable with it. And
what songs were they? Did you sing? Were they songs we'd know?
Oh, that's a good question, John.
Too many calendar pages go by?
Well, no, I can't remember the ones in her band, but when I joined a band at 16 years old, replacing Nathan East,
right,
in the People Movers in San Diego, the best gig in town, he asked me, "Do you sing?" And I said, "No." And he says, "You have to, because Nathan sang." Whenever I run into Nathan, we always laugh. And I say, "It's because of you, man. You know, I had to sing because you were singing on that gig." And the band leader said, "You know, you have to sing." I said, "Well, okay, I'll give it a shot." And he goes, "Well, what do you want to try?" I know I'm going on a tangent. I'll come back to my mother and the vocal lesson thing. And so I looked at his set list, and I always tell this to people. I go, you know, anybody who's new and up and coming, here's my mentorship and my elder statesman. I say, I did something in that audition that I've taken with me for the rest of my life. I did not limit myself. I didn't know to try and be safe. He said, "What do you want to sing?" And so I'm auditioning for a singing gig, and I look at his set list and I go, that's a nice song. Let's try Just the Way You Are. Don't go changing to try and please me. You never let me down before. Talk about a range, right? But I attempted it, and I'm sure I didn't blow his mind, but he probably saw fearlessness and maybe some potential of a tone and gave me the gig. So I started singing on that gig. I was 16 years old, and just every day went to the gig, and, well, maybe I should try it this way. And I got one lesson from some guy down in San Diego, but it didn't take. And by the time I got to LA, my mother kept hammering on me. Well, she tricked me, and for my 21st birthday gave me a vocal lesson. And it was the trick was it was expensive. I couldn't blow it off. So I went, and I thought, again, just like walking in to sing the first day of Chicago 18, I go, this is probably the one and done. You know, they're going to see that this guy's not really supposed to be here. The great Seth Riggs, who was teaching Michael Jackson, the Earth, Wind, and Fire guys, Barbra Streisand, you know, he was teaching Stevie Wonder. Seth Riggs is the guy in LA. So I'm going, he's going to hear me and go, isn't this cute? Some stage mother's throwing their kid at me again. But he lit me up, man. I went in there, and he said, "What do you want to do?" I said, I want to expand my range. And he goes, "Well, you've come to the right place." Big boomy voice he has. "You've come to the right place. Everybody wants to increase their range." I said, "But I want to go down. I know I can hit some high notes, but I want to build my lower register." And he goes, "Okay." Takes me through some exercises and just stopped. And I have a recording of it. I taped all the lessons. I've got a recording of my first vocal lesson where you can hear the moment where you actually discover who you are. Going from a guy going, "Okay, let's go through this and get it over," to a guy who showed me. He goes, "You're barking up the wrong tree, Jason." He goes, "You're a tenor. And by the way, the radio's a gold mine. Listen to the radio. Chicago, Journey." I'm going, "Okay." And he goes, "We got to just get you going up into your head voice." And what most people would think of as their break in their voice, it's called a passaggio, the passage of full voice, chest voice going up into a head voice. He goes, "We're just going to strengthen that." And in the first lesson, he took me through an exercise that showed me the connection of that, and I was hooked, man. And I said, not only when am I coming back, but how often? And I started, like, it was $50 a half an hour. So that's a fortune in 1983. But I ended up at one point going twice a week, and it was just fantastic because when you think about it, 21 years old, and if you were to ask me, how long did it take from you to, like, be a guy that was really not looking at yourself as a real singer to joining Chicago, I'd say probably 5 years. It was 2.5 years.
Yeah.
But getting the reps in, that's another thing I tell my kids, because they've both got great voices. I said, I'm going to do what my mother did to me, to you, but I'm not going to tell you to go do it in person, but get the reps in. You guys have voices, so sing, man. Because when that opportunity comes, and like Seth Riggs said, he goes, you came to me at the right time, because people get a career and they don't have a voice in 5 years. He goes, you're going to have one in 30 years having a personal technique. Well, I think we're coming up close to 40.
Yeah.
Thank you, Seth, and my mother, you know.
Hope you enjoyed that. If you want to support the channel even more, there's links to Patreon and PayPal in the description, and links to Generation Radio, the new Jason Scheff project, and there'll be details on how you can pick it up. I'm John Beaudin. Make sure you share our videos. If you're a member of a group which talks about Jason or Chicago, please share these videos on there. Comment on them, like our videos, subscribe to our channel, and we'd appreciate that. More from Jason Scheff in the next few days. I'm John Beaudin from Rock History Music.